morning, everybody. Welcome to the Discourse with Jimi Disu, brought to you by MTN. We are having a slight problem with the bed and the music that plays in the background, but today's topic is so hot, there's no time for all the niceties. We'll find a way to fix the bed. Now, there are two issues here that I want to take on Dr. Adeboale. Dr. Adeboale, Dr. Doyin Adeboale used to be the SSA special duties to the former governor of Ondo State, but he's here because he's a traditionalist. Morning, Dr. Adeboale. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Good morning. I can hear you.
Thank God. He's been here because, he was the one we consulted when we had problems with the Alaafin and all this. So he has, for now, what I will call the realistic answers to some of our issues that are traditional. Now, between Dr. Adeboale and I are going to have a discussion on two major issues. The first one is that sometime during the week, what's the name? Oba Rashid, the Oluwo of Iwo, accused the Oni of Ife about mainly that he set him up with his former wife, and also that a bit of nasty things. He suspected they were in an hotel and all that. And yesterday, some Obas in Ife North or something like that responded, and my argument yesterday when I was with Sheriff was that the Oni has been accused in person, and in person he should reply to his lawyer. So that's the first issue I want to take up. The second issue I want to take up is that during this week, Mrs. Folashade Ojo, I think she's the chief or so, had gone to meet the Oba of Benin. That she says it's Yaologia General. I don't know where all that is from, but she wanted to install Yaologia General, I think, of Edo, and luckily my origins are in Edo and I've lived in Edo before. I know that the issue of Yaologia, which is also in Edo called EVA, I think it's called EVA or something like that, it is a traditional thing. And against the background of what the Oba told her publicly, she went ahead and installed somebody as the EVA or Easy. I'll get that right any minute from now. She went and installed that person, as the head of the Yaologia. So those are the two issues I want to get. The first one, Doctor, is the one of the Olu of Iwo and the Oni of Ife. What is going on?
Thank you, Egon. Thank you.
What is going on? What is going on? Or what is going on?
When the head of a household dies and an invalid takes over, sorrow will follow sorrow. That is it. That is the problem we have in Yoruba land as of today. Because if you look at the caliber of those who call themselves traditional rulers, in all the known Yoruba towns and villages, most of them are misfits. That's just, I think that background, is necessary for us to be able to now appreciate.
Why do you say they are misfits? I mean, is it their character, or what exactly do you mean? But not all.
What they profess. What they profess. Because to be a traditional ruler, you must be the choice of the people of that town or the village. You must be acceptable to them. There's a process. So being a traditional ruler means that they are the custodian of your people's customs and tradition.
And religion.
So what we find now, when you say customs and tradition, religion is embedded in what you have as a culture. The culture of the people is the totality of their way of life.
So for those...
This is what these ignorant people don't understand. when they try to separate a religion from culture. Like, as I've been listening to some people, it is ignorance at its worst. Religion is a subset in a culture of a people. The way they dress, the way they eat, the way they welcome newborn babies into the world, the way the rites of passage for those who are old enough to go,
yes,
and even those who die, prematurely. All of these things are embedded in culture. Even economy, what we produce, the way we interact with our natural environment, is our culture. That is why you cannot develop without a substratum that you have as your culture. That is why Japan, China, and the Asian tigers now are coming up.
Yeah, and
that
India.
is why we continue to mimic. So you see, when we look at this background, we now see that those who parade themselves as traditional rulers, with respect to, some of them who who are still good, some of them are still very good. I have them as personal friends, and I see them as my fathers. But majority of them have abnegated the very essence of what they claim to represent. So it is not surprising that you begin to see things that are strange.
Now, Doctor, correct.
Strange in the sense that,
correct me that if I'm wrong. I believe that.
Yes, sir.
I believe that traditionally, if you get yourself involved in whatever it is that you are not entitled to, you will continue to progress. Like my friend Kevin will say, you continue to progress in error. Could that be part of what is responsible for this?
I want to believe so.
Yeah, because for example, some of the things we are seeing are totally, I repeat, totally unbecoming of a traditional ruler. So you ask, you ask yourself, where have these people gone wrong? I think it starts with the choice.
I think you must have been listening to some of these things on the social media. There is one Chief Abiola Ogundokun who came on here to confess that he was
and apologized.
Who committed and apologized. Then he mentioned the name of Rauf Aregbesola as being an accomplice in the crime against the people of the Iwo. And there are so many people like that. It is not just Iwo. We have them all around. When you have somebody who calls himself an Oba, who will go to attend a crusade, a prayer meeting in a Christian gathering, and he will remove his so-called crown and put it on the ground and begin to praise Jesus. And when you have them roll on the floor in a church, it's direct abnegation. You don't even have to remove them physically. They have removed themselves. They have removed themselves. They have removed themselves. A woman berry, a white berry. It's all of these things.
Okay, let me ask a direct question. If you negate the principles of the production of the traditional ruler of the Oba, I'm trying very hard to speak in English, whereas I prefer to speak in Yoruba. But so if you negate that, see, Yorubas have the word ashishe. Is it that ashishe?
Ashishe, there is ashishe.
There's AD.
There is Efun.
Which one is Efun?
Efun.
I know AD.
Sir?
I know AD. AD is the kind of thing that can make me hook wonderful in the studio now and plant a kiss on AD niye. But that's it could be a good. Which one is Efun?
Efun. Yoruba will say Efun Bedi. Is it Efun or AD? Efun will push you to always, look down on what will destroy you. Efun,
and not be cautious.
Efun will push you. We push you to disrespect anybody. Nobody matters.
Or can I put it? Can I put it this way? Both AD, Efun, and Ashishe could lead to your ultimate destruction. Is that right?
Of course, it is like the Greek hamartia.
Because of
the tragic flaw.
Minus all these things.
The tragic flaw.
Now again, I'm seeing 2-3 traditional rulers dancing before camera. There's nothing wrong with Obas dancing, but making skits. What is wrong with those?
There is nothing regal about those ones. There's nothing regal about them. There's nothing regal about them.
So where are we going with this? Where are we going?
Sad enough, it shows that that institution is dying.
Yeah.
And the ones who claim to be the custodians of the people's traditions and customs are the ones who are going to perform the final burial. And we will assist them to do so.
Because you see, sorry, I seem to be rushing, but because of time. Late last night after we spoke online, I got another signal. A traditional ruler was beaten up in Ondo State. Did you hear of it? A traditional ruler was beaten up.
Is it a recent development?
I just saw it yesterday. Some young urchins in the neighborhood, and they beat the son, and the police had to be called in to rescue him.
Well, you see, the way most of them emerge, we tell you clearly. You see, there's some mindless people who say, "Oh, is Ifa not choosing them?" Ifa is not choosing them. They don't allow.
Who do we hold responsible for this?
I hold the state. You see, it's a long process. By the time the Europeans came and they saw the kind of reverence that the African people gave to their traditional institution, they never wanted anything that would rival the,
obeisance to the Queen.
The obeisance that they expected us to pay to the Queen of England. At that time, they never wanted any rivalry of any sort, any parallel political structure. So they wanted to subsume what existed under. Look at what happened to the Egba people who resisted, because they also played with the idea of an Egba independent nation. We started in 1847 or thereabouts, until the Ogun Ijemo, the British killed everybody, in Ijemo. Because the Egba resisted the idea of amalgamation in 1914. So that sent a signal to the British that they must destroy whatever remained. And they were able to do it successfully. Those who came back from Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Brazil, the captives who came back, then the returning slaves, Yoruba descent who came to Lagos, the Da Silva, Pinheiro, Da Costa, all of these people, then they joined with the Christians who ran away from Abeokuta to Lagos to join the colonial administration, to face the traditional institution. That was and they came up with the idea of this tool, I told you.
Yes.
They came up with the idea of this tool. They downgraded what we call the throne. They never wanted to hear about it. They downgraded it. They went after the traditional rulers who seem to exhibit some streak of independence. Then they promoted the ones who were ready to play their game, increase their salaries, and so on and so forth. So
invariably, that is what has trickled down. We should not
be surprised.
I see. That is what has trickled down.
We should not be surprised that those who are now coming up are the scums. Most of them are the scums, especially where you don't have any serious, lay down, procedure for emergence. Take, for instance, you won't find any dispute in Benin, in the tradition of Benin. You won't find in Owo. You won't find in even Akure. You won't find in several other places. But where you have usurpation put in place and now gazetted, and people now say it is the law, the law, the law, the law. The letters of the law kill it. Say the law, not the intendment, not what you have behind it.
Okay, now that it's definite that we are at a crossroad. I think whether we, unless we don't want to lie to ourselves, our traditional system, at least in the Southwest, is at a crossroad. There is a big problem. Very quickly, because time is not our friend, how do we go about solving this problem?
Well, the solution to the problem also lies with the state, because now the state has destroyed the traditional institution. So all we have are the vestiges of the glorious past.
Wow.
And the ones who are in the so-called palaces are in a hurry to destroy every other, remnant, every other relic of that glorious past. So you see, every state has its own chieftaincy law.
Yes.
Every traditional council, you have another. I mean, the state has its traditional council. So talking about the Oluwo and the Oni, they are in the same Ife. And Osun State Traditional Council.
Yes.
And the Oni is the permanent chairman of that council. Oni is the permanent chairman of that council. Oluwo is a member, is a permanent member of that council. So how can the Oni now preside over his own over an allegation against him in that council?
Well,
it cannot be.
Some Obas,
but that does not mean that the council cannot sit. The Obas, the vice chairman, who is the Owa Obokun of Ijesha land, and other people should summon a meeting and to discuss it if it is worth the time. But the governor of the state cannot pretend not to know that Rashid Akanbi has been misbehaving. I want to respect you because I have very decent people, professors, lawyers, who are from Iwo. I will not speak against them. And I will not use Oluwo. I call him Rashid Akanbi. They should call him to order. Now, the governor has been keeping quiet. One of the members of the traditional council is in the jail for fraud in the US.
Yes.
This Onoyede guy, he went to steal in the US. He was convicted. He's in the prison. Even the chairman of the council, Oni of Ife, has not said anything about it. All other members of the council are not saying anything about it. And they are talking about somebody sleeping with another person's wife. A wife who is slept with, is that a woman? Won't you push that person away and begin to move?
Well, here we have no proof that anybody slept with anybody's wife. And I'm of the view that by now I would have thought that the only, apart from him being chairman and whatever, he needs to protect his own name as a person. He would have his lawyers and so on and so forth.
Oh, on the contrary, sir. With respect. Oh, that throne is the custodian of all crowns.
Yeah, but
the Oni should not descend. Should not descend to come and talk about somebody's wife or somebody knows that. Now, if you have a wife in Yoruba land, sir.
Yes.
That wife, Koni Ebini.
No, that aside.
She must be from a family.
So are you saying? No, sir? I need to get information from you because I learned from you.
Okay.
Are you saying that the Oni does not have? He has to protect his family name. He was not accused.
Yeah.
He was not. 1 second, sir. He was not accused as an Oni. What he was said to have done is his person. It's not the crown.
The little I've heard about the issues that I may not bring to the public.
Yes.
Shows me the contrary. That this so-called wife was found more or less like some visitor to Nigeria. She was found in the midst of some of those who are now
but still a wife. Still his wife.
No, she's not. She's not a wife strictly called.
Why?
She's not an Olori of an Oba. And if you see, like
I do know. She's not an Olori. Is it because?
Sorry, sir, let me quickly say this.
Yes.
Let me quickly say this. Some Oloris in some towns, Yoruba towns, are so powerful that they also have their traditional functions. They perform rituals. They go through all of this.
She didn't perform that.
Oh, for a person who said it's not anemia. The person who put a crown on on a woman at what ceremony?
So the matter. So let us.
And Iwo, the lineage of Iwo from Ife.
Yes.
It's through a woman.
Okay.
So now, if you now, do you have a queen in Iwo as you have the Oluwo? So I see.
Okay.
I think what the governor is the one, failing in his duties to call them to order. You know, this shouldn't have been a matter for social media. And look at look at the way that man went on there.
It's been terrible. Okay, we have to take a break. It's been terrible.
Okay,
we have to take a break. It's been terrible. A lot of muscling back and forth. And just like the doctor said, it's not good. It's become very complex, the way he has analyzed it, more complex than I even thought. We learn every day. But what I'm seeing now is I'm now seeing camps. This camp is bringing out this video. This other camp is bringing out this video. And like a doctor said, there's a need for the governor to bring sanity into that state before we have a big-time crisis on our hands. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, we are going to look at an issue, same traditional, that happened in Benin, in which the Mrs. Fola Shade Tinubu, I think that's her name, is the Yaloja General of I don't know, of Nigeria. I don't know where that came from, but anyway. And the Oba had told her, this thing you want to do, he had implied more or less that don't do it. She went ahead and did it. And I've been having a flurry of reactions again on that note since yesterday. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Hello, Male. How you dey now?
I dey, my pikin.
Male, wait. She make I call you back. You sure say your credit go reach this guy talk?
Don't worry yourself. Now MTN better gist I dey use.
Who no like better thing? Just go buy new MTN SIM so MTN go dash you 2,100 naira airtime sharply. And on top that one, every call where you make, whether na 3 minutes for this call or na 1 minute on top another call, e go dey join dey go. And once you gather reach 6 minutes, MTN go sama you 3 minutes extra. Make you for continue that better gist. Or ya dial *123 *2 *1 hash to join MTN better gist today. Terms and conditions dey sha o.
Imagine a world without communication, a world without emergency calls, disconnected businesses, and unreachable families. Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? This is the reality we face when telecommunications masts and fiber optic cables are vandalized. These telecommunications assets are the lifeline of our communities. They keep us connected, informed, and safe. Every act of vandalism is a blow to our businesses, our banks, our schools, our hospitals. Let's stand together. Let's protect our networks. Dial 622 from any network or send an email protect@ncc.gov.ng to report any suspicious activity around telecommunications infrastructure. Our connection, our responsibility. This message is brought to you by the Mobile Network Operators and Towercos in collaboration with Nigerian Communications Commission.
You're welcome back to the Discourse with Jimi Disu, brought to you by MTN. And I still have Dr. Donyo Deboale here. And as is my consultant on traditional matters. And Dr. Deboale, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good.
I am.
Now, the second issue we want to look at, the first issue is very, very complex. And I think that we might look at it again next week if there's any major development. I intend to sit on that case until we have some form of resolution. The second issue, Dr. Adeboale, is the Mrs. Fola Shade Ojo visited the Oba of Benin last week, it was reported, and she said she wanted to install an Iyeki. And what was Iyeki of Edo State? The Oba took time out. It was reported in all the papers to tell her that essentially Iyeki is a traditional title. Okay, she said she wanted to install an Iyaloja general. First of all, you want to install somebody with in Benin with a Yoruba title. Let's leave all that. But even the Oba took her time to tell her that, look, that's not the way we do here. You know, he told her, amongst other things, that the Iyeki is a symbolic appointment that who even carries out spiritual assignments on behalf of the Oba. But so
precisely.
I was taken aback when I discovered that Madame Sue went ahead and installed her own, what else we call it, her own Iyeki. Since then, my phone has been full of all kinds of reactions. Indeed, next week, Thursday, I'm going to have my good friend Osa. Osa, of course, is from Edo State. He was furious yesterday. I'm going to have him come on. And Osa and I are going to look at the state of Edo. We are not looking at Edo State. We are going to look at the state Edo. What is going on also with the governor going abroad saying looking for foreign investment. And we are going to look at the whole thing. So on Thursday, the state of Edo is what we'll be talking about. Back to you, Doki.
Yes, sir.
What is the implication? What do you think is the implication of what has happened? By my, 1 second, sir. By my reckoning, the Oba was telling her not to do it.
Yes.
And she went ahead and dared him. What does that tell you?
Yeah, because she's the daughter of the president. Is this impunity you find everywhere? Let me be quick to say that there's no traditional title known as Iyaloja general.
Not that I know of, no.
There is not one. Anybody who is trying to claim a dynasty for a family is welcome. You see, you can aspire to become anything. Iyaloja general is a direct usurpation of traditional functions. Anybody who is appointed as an Iyaloja in any town or in any village must owe an appointment to the traditional head of that town. After all, in the traditional setting, the market was always around the palace.
A palace, yes.
That was why they are always around the palace. That's like the Oba who appoint, a resourceful woman who also, has something to sell. Not the daughter of a politician. Somebody who has a known trade.
Known trade, yes.
Attached to will be the person, and the person, apart from being wealthy, apart from being resourceful, the person must also be a leader of human beings.
In fact,
and we have them.
The Oba went further to say that the position of Iyaloja or whatever, which in Edo is called the Iyeki, also carries out some traditional rights.
Necessarily so, because there's no market. No market was established in the past without the consultation with the traditional council and with the Oluwo, as it is done in Yoruba land.
Yes.
You consult Ifa, and by the time you want to establish a new market, there will be an issue spot, because issue is in charge of commerce, not the Satan of the Bible and the Quran. Issue is different from the Satan that Ajayi Crowder brought. So issue is in charge of commerce.
So
Iyaloja and the Oluwo and the Kabiyesi and all of them will agree on the spot where the market will be. And they have their festivals, they had their traditional festivals, they had observances that they must adhere to. So that, you know, it was an integral system, not a situation where somebody will now create our own dynasty, Iyaloja general, meaning what? If your father ceases to be the president of Nigeria, so what happens? You continue as Iyaloja, going to everywhere and be messed up.
Point of correction, sir. I think she referred to herself as the Iyaloja general before the president came on. I suspect so.
No, I think
because it was.
I think Iyaloja general was restricted to Lagos. That aberration. That oddity was limited to Lagos when her father held sway and still holds sway in Lagos. She still holds sway in Lagos. But it was like that when the father started. You know, the grandmother, Alhaji Abibatu Mogaji, was a politician, was an astute politician, Action Group, highly respected politician. So she was also the Iyaloja of Lagos Island.
Oh, Lagos Island.
She was the Iyaloja. Then, because of her influence, she was able to mobilize for Awo during the Action Group.
Yes.
You will see that when Awo was released from prison in 1966 on August 3rd, she was the one who organized market women to go and receive Awo in Lagos. Check YouTube, you still find Abibatu Mogaji, you know, like that. So she was a very active woman. And she was wealthy, no doubt about that. Forget about what people say because of politics now. The idea of a Iyaloja general, you know, let us even talk as educated people. Is that position gazetted? Can anybody just stroll into another person's state or town or domain and begin to act like that? Is that permissible?
The computer village went to court and won the case. I don't know if there was any appeal. But they decided not to put themselves under her jurisdiction.
You know, the point is even the computer village. I don't know what the judge decided, but the computer village must be under the local government, and the local government reserves the right to choose the leadership of the market. You know,
the local government or the market themselves.
The local government must approve.
Whoever they choose.
Because the market belongs to the local government. In fact, computer village is not a market.
It's not a market anyway.
It's a broad distortion of town planning regulations. I knew that place. I was going to Fela Shrine at Pepple. I was going there.
So was I.
It was not computer village. So they distorted the matter. That's just an aside. But, you know, there is nothing like Iyaloja general in the law that in the offices that we know that we must respect.
Wait, doctor, are we looking at impunity here? And also,
it is an act of impunity. There is not. You see, don't let us try to embellish what is wrong.
Yes,
it is putrescence. It is an act of impunity. And the person who parades herself as Iyaloja general, going from Lagos, leaving Lagos and going to Edo State to go and be putting a crown on somebody's head. That crown, from where is that crown coming from? Before, any crown that anybody must put on must come from the shrine of Obatala from Ife.
That's why the
Oni is the custodian of all crowns.
But are we sure? Wait, sir, Doctor, wait. Yes, are we sure the Oba did not give her that crown? It sounds like it's
which Oba now?
The Oba of Benin, because under his jurisdiction.
You see, you cannot even begin. A woman cannot begin to crown anybody. And with apologies to our feminists too.
Yes.
In our tradition, a woman will not crown, a king in the open. You saw how the new Olubadan, how he prostrated 3 times for women in the open. That was significant. He left Osemeji temple. He did what he had to do. Then he left in the open just to show you, Osemeji was the Oduifa that led the people who went to settle in Ibadan to choose that place as their spot. And when you talk about the Osebeji, I don't want. I mean, we are on here. Our mothers, to show how powerful women have always been in our cosmology, in our worldview. Those women sat representing those who sent them out, and Ladoja prostrated 3 times openly. He didn't say la ilaha illallah, this is Jesus' name, and all of these inanities that people chant when they want to destroy the very essence of their being. So he prostrated 3 times. So no woman will crown anybody outside.
Oh, but
you saw, the one I said about the Shonwu of Ogbomoso.
Yes.
That some funny people were saying that they will take me to court and all of that. I'm still waiting for their summons. Up till now, they have not come. The Oyo State House of Assembly and all of them like that. When a king, went to kneel before a pastor, Adeboye, who is also a subject of Ifewara, a village, went to kneel. They say, kneel before.
But something just occurred to me.
Express.
When you mentioned the issue of the Olubadan, very quickly, I'd like you to react to the music that was played there when one musician was singing "We're laughing, we're laughing, at the inauguration of an Olubadan. Is something not wrong? Of all the songs,
in any event, all of them. Which songs are they? Can you really point out? Can you go to any record store to buy? Now, if this,
but at the inauguration of an Olubadan, you are singing with a laughing.
Now it has now become so notorious that everybody is out talking about with a laughing. In a way, it has paid off. But that should show you how far we have gone in desecrating the very essence. At a coronation, you don't even have to bring any musician
at all.
You go to do that at the reception. It should be a solemn ceremony. It should be a solemn ceremony. Somebody is ascending the throne. Somebody is being given the mantle of leadership to look over in Ibadan. The Olubadan has as its domain over 1,000 towns and villages.
Okay.
Over 1,000. All these mortgages you find. These heirs of compound.
The young lady sitting next to me was asking me that Ogujibi, what does we laughing we mean? He has to do some madness. Okay, doctor, I need to take some phone calls. I need to open up our lines 0201-277-0993 and 0201-465-7190, which is a female line. Please, we look, our lines are full already. So just state your name, 1 minute, and clear out so that we can take as many reactions as possible. Doctor, I have your word that we'll continue this discussion on another day.
No problem, sir.
Okay.
Anytime. Anytime, sir.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Odogu too.
Please, straight to the point.
This is from Elegushi.
Yes.
This is coming from Elegushi.
Yes,
even our tradition, already even the Yoruba tradition like this now is no longer tradition. A tradition whereby Obas are being appointed by the government or by the president, and we have political Obas these days. Even some Obas do not even live in they live in abroad. They don't appoint them to come and become Oba.
Yes.
They don't even live in their palace. Some of the Obas have really turned themselves to INEC collation officers. Most of them are even working for INEC and working for politicians. So today now, our tradition has been desecrated because already politics has taken over everything. So tradition is no longer respected. Thank you so much.
Okay. Do we have another? Okay, we do. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Uncle JD.
Morning, quickly.
In times past, we've heard stories of when there's a flagrant abuse of tradition, the gods fight, or even the elders in council bring about sanctions. Now that there are no sanctions and the gods are not even fighting, Uncle JD, this thing will continue. Is there anything that can be done to abate this in future? And on the one that happened in the real state, I learned from my people that She actually went to inaugurate the woman first before going to the Oba's palace, and it has caused a big reaction.
It was before she went to the palace.
And that is why they are Uncle Daddy. She should go and appease them. There's so much rancor. The market women, the Oba, everybody is angry with what she has done. It is a desecration on Edo land. Please do your findings, sir. Thank you very much.
This is a new development, Doki. Doctor, you heard what she said?
I heard
that actually that installation took place before.
To show that she's the daughter of the president. Now, let me quickly react to what the first person said.
Yes.
Concerning whether there are no Obas again in Yoruba language. Look, everything started when Nigeria was, conquered. What we call Nigeria now was conquered. And all of these kingdoms were brought under, the indirect rule system.
Yes.
They started in the north and they brought to the... Now, in his eastern part of the country, it is even worse. Because the Warren chiefs were created in 1927. They had no kings in the east. Now, look at what they do all about. Everybody wants to be amazing.
Yes.
Everybody wants to be Obi, That is irritating. That is annoying.
Okay.
In the villages where they came from, no Oba, no record, no tradition, no system of kinship. And they were Republicans.
Had was elders, yes.
They had elders, but now look at all of them going for as far as Ghana, creating kingdoms, creating confusion. Now talking about desecration, what Folashade went to do. She cannot even do it in Lagos. So she has a right to head her association. Her association is an NGO. Let her continue to delude herself. She has no traditional authority over anybody. She cannot control any market. She cannot. Those who willingly submit themselves to authority are doing so because of patronage. She has nothing, absolutely nothing. Lagos Island, the Eleko controls Lagos Island. Not Lagos State. Oba, there's nothing like Oba of Lagos. It was a later creation. It's Eleko of Eko. Go and read about the sugar. The title used to be Eleko. They changed it to please themselves. So, and the Benin people who said they founded Lagos, that's also a lie. The pepper sellers at Idugara. The pepper sellers said, go and read the case of Olua.
Okay.
Of Olua.
Okay.
Of Olua that they took to the Privy Council is reported.
Okay.
Go and read it.
Okay. Let me take
about ownership and all of it.
Let me.
Folashade misbehaved.
Yes.
So Folashade misbehaved, and people are afraid to say so because of patronage. Either they're in APC or PPP and all of these useless platforms. That's their business. She has been misbehaving. In fact, look. What they do in the main is not to even empower these women. They just carry some women about and they put t-shirts on them and they give them money to do politics. Politics is good. We want them to, if I were Folashade too, I would campaign for my dad. But the way she's going about it now, she's actually campaigning against her father.
I was going to ask
There's
you.
Nothing like a market. There's nothing like a market dynasty.
Okay.
No market dynasty.
I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you,
yes,
Doki, before we go. In line with what the last caller, and I think it's Mrs. Oboli, in line with what she has said, is this going to be in favor or against her dad's aspiration?
Evidently. Look. I was in Edo State. The old bandit that became Edo when the Igbinedion family, had issues with the Oba of Benin.
Yeah, I remember.
And the Sama was declared an enemy of the palace.
Yes.
It was so bad that if a Sama wanted to throw a party, no Benin man would sit there. No Benin man would sit there. They know how they solve their politics. But again, she has the right to her NGO. But the right she does not have is to be putting a crown on anybody's head in Benin Kingdom. She doesn't have that right. Somebody should tell her. She does not have that right. She does not have that right. Even in Lagos, she does not have that right.
Okay,
she does not have that right.
Okay. Let me pick this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Very quickly, I'm running.
I'm from Edo State. We will send dog to that woman. Dog.
You say what?
Send it to her. Yes.
No, don't talk like. Hey, Oga. Bring it down, please. Bring it down. We will not tolerate any form of threat. Please, that I apologize on behalf of the last caller. You can make your point, but you do not make threats on radio, and I do apologize. Please, let's all be civil, okay, and be less emotional about these things. Let's take another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, this is Kenny.
Morning, Kenny, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes.
Your guest is spot on with reference to the Igbo culture. The Igbo culture from, time immemorial, don't have a king. There's even an adage that says, Igbo Enweze. In those days, men of reputable integrity, elders in the villages, get together and resolve any disputes that arise. Having kings nowadays is totally alien culture, so your guest is spot on that. And I think that's the beauty of Igbo people.
Yeah.
Well, the men are the ones that are in charge of culture and tradition, and it falls within their purview to do as they like. So we Igbo people are just watching our men. Good job. I'm enjoying the show. Have a good one.
Thank you very much. Somebody is saying something here that the ADC to the president is a king in Kwara. Is that true?
It is, yes, he is.
How can he be a king and also be an ADC? I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's because of the way things are now. From what I heard, especially from
so a king with serving somebody.
Family, yes, his family is well reputed in that town as Ifa people, and when he was chosen, he had a choice. The choice was for him to resign as a colonel in the army, and to pick up the tradition. And he actually wanted to go, from what I heard.
Yes.
Because we take such matters and seriously underneath.
Yes.
Like from what I was told, that he actually wanted to put in his papers.
Okay.
But of course, when you talk about national duty, because whatever you want to do, it is even the governor. It is the governor that will approve your appointment.
Okay.
So the appointment is kept in abeyance
until he retires.
And there's a council, there is national council in place. Not until he retires. Until he retires. Yes, until he leaves as the ADC. Because he's performing, to choose an ADC, you must be.
It's a very vital job. Okay.
To find a quick replacement is that affects national security.
Okay, Doki.
So,
Doki, I got to go. But let's see what happens during the week. I might have to call on you next Saturday. Okay, thank you very much.
No problem, sir.
I've been having a discourse with Dr. Odeboale, and this issue. The Benin issue we are going to continue. We are going to continue on Thursday. I'm going to speak to us and two other Benin indigenes, and so that we can get a sense of what exactly is going on. I'm very, very concerned.
I'm sorry, there's nothing going on other than the fact that she went to misbehave, and let's just leave it as that.
But
she went to misbehave, and I know that her father must have called the Oba of Benin. I know that she must have called. She went to misbehave. You don't do that. There's no other way. Overflog it. She went to meet, and in fact, it's not only Benin. She should be stopped elsewhere.
Okay, wait.
She should run an NGO and all that. There is no market dynasty. Nobody will allow that nonsense.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Debo. So maybe by I'm hoping that by Thursday there must have been some resolution of some sort. Thank you very much for listening. Wonderful.
It's always my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. I'm sure you enjoyed yourself tremendously.
Yes, I did.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to hand over to you. I'm going back home to go watch football. I'll see you all next week. Bye.
Coming up next is Travel and Culture with Emmanuel Onwuka.
Okay, sir.
on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
He believed that those could eventually be replaced, while his Ikenga was irreplaceable. There are Ikengas in various museums all over the world today, and it is easy to forget as we stare and admire them behind cold and clinical glass barriers that these are objects that are religious, spiritual, sacred. Art lives in history, and history lives in art. Much of what we call African art are also documents that tell stories. Some are literal in their storytelling, like the beautifully ornate Benin stool that was sent to the Oba of Benin by his people when he was exiled by the British, and which he looked at and immediately could deduce from the carvings the state of his British plundered land. Other sculptures and carvings are more metaphorical. They speak to the dignity of a people, to their worldview, to their aspirations. Some of the early Christian missionaries across the African continent were very keen on destroying African art. Carved African deities, which they told the Africans were just magic. I cannot help but wryly wonder what could be more magical than the story of a man who dies and then magically rises again, a man who also manages to magically give his body as bread. And I say this, by the way, as a newly returned Roman Catholic. The point is that belief systems vary, and as long as they feed the spiritual needs of a people, they're valid. We cannot be dismissive of a belief system merely because it is unfamiliar to us, just as we cannot be dismissive of a history because we are uncomfortable with it. So I'd like to tell a small story about a Nigerian woman who's married to a Belgian and has lived in Belgium for many years. She said once that she was